Hey everyone, so I'm back with a new video, and this time it's a Yu-Gi-Oh! News related video. So I'm primarily going to be talking about news that has just gone under the radar in terms of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is something I wanted to do for a while because I feel like there are a lot of important and interesting things that go on in the Yu-Gi-Oh! News, community. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing is the new expansion set known as Toon Chaos. And in Toon Chaos, they've given us a lot of new support for Toon cards that we've had in the past, along with reprints of those Toon cards. But ironically, the Toon cards that came out of this set, I wouldn't consider to be the most important things to come out of this particular booster set. The more important things I would consider are the cards intended to be support for different archetypes, along with the reprints that are not Toon reprints, ironically speaking. So one example of that is Magician of Hope. And Magician of Hope is an XYZ pendulum card that it's intended for the Pendulum Magician decks in general. And if you don't know what it does, you can pendulum summon this card from your extra deck if you can pendulum summon one level 4 pendulum card, or monster I mean. So on top of that, if you don't know what it does, you can detach one material to summon one level 7 or lower pendulum monster from the hand in defense. On top of that, the pendulum monster that's summoned that way has its effect negated. Then you can place Magician of Hope in a pendulum zone that you have. Also, if pendulum summoned this way, you can attach a pendulum monster from your graveyard to the Magician of Hope. And so basically what this does, it provides an easy summon of a powerful monster while providing an additional summon which can be used for additional extra deck summons like Link summons or XZ summons or potentially even Synchro summons. And this allows for greater recycling, but it may not be enough to boost pendulums. So only time will tell in terms of whether pendulums will be more relevant in the meta. But let me know what you guys think in the comments section. So that's pretty much one of the first examples of the more important, I guess, support cards. The next important card that I feel came out of this set is one that I'm personally excited for. And this card is a monster known as the Chaos Creator. And you typically summon this monster by banishing one light and one dark monster from the graveyard. And it gains its effect by summoning it this way from the hand. So it's great support for Thunder Dragons, especially because it's a Thunder card. And its effect basically says you target 3 banished monsters with different names, and you special summon one of the banished monsters. Then the other 2 you didn't use to summon onto the field, or that you didn't summon onto the field, they go back into the deck, and you shuffle them. So basically what you can do is you can also target the cards that are the monsters that you banished for its summon and recycle those back into the deck, or summon one of them onto the field, which is insane. So this is basically a great recycle card for any banished cards, and it's not even just your own, you could even do it with your opponent. So there are potential loops to be done here. And this is a great substitution for Thunder Dragon Duo, which provides an extra summon in itself, as opposed to Thunder Dragon Duo. It doesn't really do that. So although it has a bunch of positives, the one downside I would say is that it's not searchable by Thunder Dragon effects. The Chaos Creator is it's not a Thunder Dragon card, but it was designed to work with the Thunder Dragon cards. So you can't really search it out, but it is a great option for Thunder Dragons if you do want to use it. So moving on, now that we kind of gone through what I think are pretty much the notable expansion cards of this set, here are the new kind of, I guess, great reprints, you could say. So some of the great reprints in this set I would consider are things like Pot of Extravagance, Cyframe Gear Gamma, and Light Pulsar Dragon. So the reprint of Cyframe Gear Gamma is great because it reminds people of the Cyframe Gear driver combo that was used back in the day. And this was the main way that you would interrupt a lot of people during their turn, and you would cause some negation effects to happen during your opponent's turn or your turn. And it works great with the whole chaos strategy because you can dump these Cyframe cards, which are light monsters, into the grave, and you can fill your grave with light monsters. And I mean, which obviously helps with part of the Chaos Creators combo. So something that works hand in hand with this Chaos strategy is also Light Pulsar Dragon. We haven't really seen too many reprints of Light Pulsar Dragon, and it was getting a little pricey after a while, so this is a great reason to reprint it, and it's pretty much perfect for the Chaos combo. I mean, this card was used in Chaos Dragons back in the day also, so it may see a little bit of a resurgence because of it, and also because of Chaos Creator. And perhaps the biggest reprint in this set is Pot of Extravagance, which it now allows people to get more access to this card and more affordable access to the reprint, because we haven't really had a reprint before. It was just the initial release of Pot of Extravagance, and that was it. You were stuck with that very expensive copy, but now it's, I mean, the price has gone down a bit. It's still expensive, but it's now available for a lot of people, and you are now able to get a hold of that card for draw power, which I feel is great. So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for the great reprints. So we're going to be talking about support cards that are coming out in the future set known as the Phantom Rage. And the new support cards that I'm going to talk about in particular are FA and UA cards. So players that have been playing that deck, they're pretty much excited for this new support. And in particular, one of the new spell cards that came out for UAs and FAs is known as UA Locker Room. So this targets an FA or UA card that you control in the graveyard, and you return it to the hand, and if you do, you gain 500 life points. Then you can reveal any number of FA or UA monsters in your hand, and you shuffle them into the deck. Then you draw cards equivalent to the amount of FA or UA monsters that you put into the deck in the first place. On top of that, moving to the next card, this is a field spell in particular, which is called UA Hyper Stadium. So you can add one FA or UA monster from the deck to the hand, or add one UA Stadium from the graveyard. Also, you can reveal one field spell and pay 1,000 life points to normal summon one FA or UA monster in addition to your normal summon or set. So these are two really big spell cards that came out for UAs and FA monsters in particular. And now we're going to go into the more monsters, the more UA, I guess, focused support. So the first UA, I guess, specific support card is UA Playing Manager, and this is a monster that can be special summoned when you normal summon a UA monster. And when you special summon this card, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Or you can negate the effects of all monsters on the field except for UA monsters. So, UA monsters that you control. On top of that, there's another UA specific monster that just released, and it's called UA Liberal Spiker. This card can be special summoned by returning one UA monster you control to your hand, and during your opponent's main phase, you can shuffle one level 5 or lower, or higher actually, UA monster from your hand to the deck. Then special summon a UA monster with a different name from the deck and return UA Libero Spiker to the hand. So these are some neat monsters I thought that are going to come out for the UA players in the future, and just UA support decks in the future. So perhaps the biggest FA and UA support card to come out of the future sets is basically a trap card known as UA MVP. So this is a trap card that basically allows you to special summon any number of FA or UA monsters in defense mode when your FA or UA monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle or inflicts battle damage to your opponent after the damage calculation. So this is an insane way for FAs to have more board presence and basically have more recoverability when they're being attacked, or basically when they're being destroyed by crazy card effects or just spell cards in general. This allows them to stay on the field a little more in the grind game, and allows them to kick off more combos, such as special summoning from their extra deck more effectively than in the past. And I feel like this card really does a lot for them, more than the other cards, because the other cards, yes, they do help the FA and UA cards synchronize a little more, but this is what basically gives them more board presence. That's what UA MVP does for them, and I feel is basically what gives them a little more viability going into the future. But let me know what you think about FAs. Are they going to become more viable, or are they just going to basically be relegated to how they are now currently? So let me know in the comments. I'm honestly interested to see what you guys think. On top of that, this is another just, I guess, Yu-Gi-Oh! Fun fact. Ironically, this month in June is Yugi's birthday. So, who knew? June, and particularly June 4th, that's when Yugi's birthday is. And so yeah, I thought that was kind of a fun fact to include in this new Yu-Gi-Oh! News segment. So, primarily because I feel a lot of people don't know about it, and it's often the fact that's skimmed over. So I thought it was interesting to include it in this Yu-Gi-Oh! News section, and it's appropriate in general, I would say. But with that pretty much wraps it up for this Yu-Gi-Oh! News segment. Thank you so much for watching this video. I actually had a blast making this video. And if you guys would like to support more content like this in the future, you can do so at the Necromancer 1040 Patreon link. I normally post it in the description below, and just check it out if you guys want to support content like this, or just my content in general. I really appreciate any support you guys give me, whether if it's just sitting here and enjoying my videos, or hitting the like button, or just liking my videos in general. I appreciate all you guys do for me. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you in the next video. Alright, take care.